So, I'm wearing this mask because there are some genuine cards in Burst of Destiny that people aren't looking out for. And if you get them before people realize it, it's a genuine steal. But, there's also, some cards in Burst of Destiny that people know about that, we may have to genuinely steal. What's going on with your big dog? And it is an amazing Saturday. Normally we don't upload on Saturday, but seeing that we missed Thursday, I mean, hey, might as well, right? The Burst of Destiny set was extremely fun to go over, mainly because this is projected to be the best set of the year. And while I do think that Dawn of Majesty is underrated, I mean, let's just face it, this really is the best set. With that being said, I'm going to be going over some cards that you need from Burst of Destiny. These are going to be some cards that maybe everybody knows about, but more importantly, we're also going to be going over some of the cards that maybe people don't know about. Also, speaking of Burst of Destiny, Infinity Match just dropped some new spice. The Hero of Darkness mat is going to commemorate Destiny hero Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, and boy, it looks dope. If you want to go ahead and pre-order it, which I would do because there is a limited quantity, I'm going to leave the links down below in the description as well as the comment section. With that being said, let's jump on in so we can start talking about these amazing Yu-Gi-Oh cards that you probably should look into copying. Now, when I first seen this card, I had to do a double take because it was really busted, but it said Majestus in its name, so I was like, it can't be that good. And then I realized how good Artemis was, and I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely that good. Zoro the Majestus Conflagrate Calamity is a level 8 spellcaster synchro monster with 2900 attack and 1500 defense. This card's requirements are 1 spellcaster tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters, so unfortunately it's not generic, but it really makes up for it with its effect. Its effect reads, if this card is synchro summoned, you can equip 1 Majestus monster from your extra deck to this card. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of cards with the same card type, Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link as a Majestus monster in your spell and trap card zone. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 Majestus card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. Of course, you can only use the effect of Zoro Majestus Conflagrate Calamity once per turn. Now, if we ever needed a walking D-barrier monster, Zoro is definitely going to be that card, allowing you to immediately equip a monster from your extra deck to this card, preventing your opponent from using the effects of one of their most vital mechanic. The cool thing about Zoro is that it negates for every Majestus monster in the spell and trap card zone, meaning that if you do decide to equip an Exceed monster with this effect and then link into Artemis and then use Artemis's effect to equip, now your opponent can't use the effects of Exceeds or Link as long as Zoro is on the field. This card is actually extremely good, and the only drawback is that you need a spellcaster tuner. That's not necessarily too hard, but the only one I can think of is Effect Veiler. So Echo, go ahead and just pop up a whole bunch of spellcaster tuner monsters to make me feel better. Now, when I was originally going through this set, finding good generic cards was hard, but not too hard, as King Sky Prison is a level 10 Dark Rock monster with 3000 attack and 3000 defense. What this card does is during your main phase, you can reveal this card in your hand until the end of your opponent's turn, and if you do, while this card is revealed by its effect, set cards on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. If a set spell or trap card is activated except during the damage step, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Then if you activated this effect while it was revealed, you can set 1 spell or trap card directly from your deck, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. Of course, you can only use 1 effect of King Sky Prison per turn, and only once that turn. Boy, if we get an Altergeist Multi-Faker Arlecchino type monster again, you would think that the Yu-Gi-Oh card game would flip his head. A lot of times, the problem with back row heavy decks is that they don't have a monster powerful enough to be able to be intimidating. Well, I mean, King Sky Prison not only protects their back row, but summons itself as a 3000 body. This card is absolutely amazing for those back row heavy decks like Subterror, but also can work really well in a back row heavy deck that can just flip trap cards at will, like Burning Abyss. Swear to God, when I seen this card, I read it wrong. I thought it said Neutering, and I was like, oh no, baby, what are you doing? Yeah, a couple years ago, I actually found out what Neutering was, and I vowed to never get an animal because I'm not neutering anything. Ironically, a good card from Burst of Destiny looks like it's named Neutering, but it's called Mutering. It is a level 4 Earth Cybers monster with 1400 attack and defense. And basically what this card does is if a field spell is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if both players have a face-up card on their field zone, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. Negate the effects of any face-up card in your opponent's field zone during your turn only. Also negate the effects of any face-up card in your field zone during your opponent's turn early. Now, when I originally read Mutering, I thought that it was a bad Yu-Gi-Oh card. I mean, it can only protect itself when both players have field spells, and then I realized its second effect is continuous, meaning that it can literally out Mystic Mine, and yeah, it can negate some important field spells. Mutering will get better when your opponent starts activating field spells on your turn, but for right now it can be a good card to be summoned to your side of the field, or special summoned if you have a field spell to negate your opponent's field spell while you play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then link it off afterward. Another underratedly good card that I did not see coming is Giant Starfall. Now, Giant Starfall is the first trap card that I'm going to say is really good from this set, and basically what it does is target one monster on the field without a level until the end of this turn, change that monster's face-up attack to 0. It cannot activate its effects, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, any battle damage either player takes from battles involving that face-up monster is halved. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters without a level in response to this card's activation. The very first time I read this card, I was like, I mean, okay. And then I had to give it a double take. Whoa, timeout. First of all, this card stops Appaloosa Pull. The god is something that we already know is one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! But then I started to look further. This card stops Nightmare Unicorn, Access Code Talker, Boral Sword Dragon. Oh my god, this card's really good. It's a normal trap card, so it can be set through the effects of Trap Trick. It can also be milled off through the effects of Backjack. This card's actually low-key incredible. And while yes, the card can't be destroyed by battle, there's other methods to get rid of that certain card off the field. Now, I might have to get my ski mask for this because this is obviously a card that you need in Burst of Destiny, but it's a card that's not going to be cheap, as Destiny Hero Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is confirmed as a secret rare inside of Burst of Destiny, and it has some pretty good effects that could replace Destiny in Dragoon? No. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, Rogue Dragoon. I mean, it now is the best Destiny Hero fusion monster, so I guess it does kind of replace Destiny in Dragoon, but I'm gonna make a Dragoon deck to prove that wrong. What this Dark Warrior fusion monster with 2500 attack and 2100 defense does is monsters your opponent controls lose 200 attack for each hero card in your graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Destiny Hero Phoenix Destroyer once per turn. It has a quick effect to destroy both one card you control and one card on the field, and then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard during the next standby phase of the turn. Now, Infinity Bats decided to dedicate a mat towards this card because not only is it so awesome looking, it has a really good effect. The reason why this card is just better than Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is because Fusion Destiny is a powerful spell card that can be activated even if you draw it. You don't need Predaplant Vert Anaconda, but it can also be assessed through Predaplant Vert Anaconda. Also, your targets to be able to summon this card in Destiny Hero Celestial and Destiny Hero Dasher are way better to have in your hand than Red Eyes and Dark Magician. We gotta face it. I know with no monsters left on the field, we summon Dark Magician and attack for game, but how many times have we summoned Dark Magician with no monsters on the field and attack for game?
You got me. Told you I was the master.
Destroy ironically has better consistency, a more fair effect, and it's just easier to play. So this card is definitely a must get and possibly the most sought after card in the Burst of Destiny set. Now, Rocket's got some huge support inside of Burst of Destiny, and I can't wait to go over the Rocket Dragon Link strategy to see what could be done to make it better. But until then, I want to tell you guys to pick up Rocket Calipers, which is a confirmed ultra rare inside of Burst of Destiny. Boy, this card is good. Not only is this a level 4 Dark Dragon monster with 1700 attack, it's also a tuner. And basically what it does is that you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone a Dark Link monster points to. And you can only special summon one Rocket Caliper once per turn this way. You can tribute this card to special summon one Dark Dragon or Machine monster from your hand, except for Rocket Caliper. And of course, you can only use this effect of Rocket Caliper once per turn. This card is so ridiculously busted, I don't even know what to say. It is like an amazing dark extender for like just dark decks. It's Rocket in its name, so it's summonable through Rocket Tracer and Quick Launch, as well as the field spell. What are we doing here? I just see so much untapped potential with this card. Ironically, not necessarily for the Rocket strategy because there's not a lot of Dark Link monsters with those arrows pointed out in the correct way, but boy, this card's just good. We haven't even talked that it can special summon a Rocket or a Machine monster to your side of the field, mainly because I'm not thinking that big brain yet, but I'm gonna keep looking at cards to make this card big brain. Immediately off the top of my mind, I knew when I seen this card, it had a purpose. Sword Soul Blackout is a trap card that is, yeah, it's really good. What this trap card does is target one worm monster you control and 2 cards your opponent controls. Destroy them. You can literally stop right there. We're not even gonna talk about when it's banished, you get a token and it's a 4 and it's a tuner. We're gonna stop right there. This card makes Yang Zings incredible. That's all I needed to hear. I swear to God, if I cannot make a competitive Yang Zing deck out of this card, we are no longer doing Yu-Gi-Oh! I will quit. Worms have pretty much never gotten the recognition that it deserves, but with a generic card like this that will trigger your Yang Zing monster's effects and destroy cards on your opponent's side of the field, oh my, I gotta make it good. It's also good for Sword Soul, I guess. A confirmed secret for Burst of Destiny is Small World. Basically what this card does is reveal one monster in your hand, show one monster in your deck of its same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense, exactly one of these, and if you do, banish the revealed monster face down, then add one monster from your deck to your hand with the same yada yada yada, exactly one of those is the card shown, and if you do, banish the shown monster face down. Small World is a super reinforcement of the army for basically any strategy that you want. Unfortunately, it is a secret rare in the set, and that means it can be quite expensive. Well, that is all that I have for the cards that you need from Burst of Destiny. Of course, I'm pretty sure you feel like that I missed so much more. If I did, go ahead and not only let me know, but let everyone else know what are some other awesome cards. You can also check out these other videos because they are some amazing fire content, as I'll catch you on the next one.